Hei Shinjio cut and pondered. The 1,000-leaf golden-grade lotus root should be quite delicious, right? When she went into the water later, she would definitely dig up a few and taste them. While Hei Shinjio was busy, Monk suddenly shouted, "Stop!" This penniless monk remembered. "You must be here for that thing. Don't even think about it. You guys leave this place quickly, or this penniless monk won't be polite." Hei Xinjia's heart skipped a beat. That thing? It should be the thing that the pretty boy wanted. Hei Xinjia's hands did not stop moving as she said, "Not hold back? Why you not holding back? Are you reciting scriptures?" The monk sneered, "Humph! You are so stubborn. This penniless monk will let you experience the Buddhist light golden lotus array." Di Baiming was shocked when he heard the monk mention the Buddhist light golden lotus array. He shouted at Yun Chujio, "Little Gio, come back." Unfortunately, it was too late. Several golden rays shot out from the golden lotus in the pond and formed the shape of a golden lotus, enveloping Hei Shinjio, who was chopping the lotus. The monk sighed. "Female benefactor, the Buddha is merciful. As long as you agree to leave with your companions, I will let you go. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless." "Tui, you are acting like a fool. You talk about how noble and selfless you are, but aren't you doing it for your own selfish interests? What right do you have to stop us from leaving? You are the embodiment of your obsession. You are greedy for the mortal world. You haven't even reached home in your cultivation yet, and you still have the cheek to be boisterous. Get out of my way." Hei Shinjio did not have strict notions of good and evil in her bones. She did not care about saving all living beings. If anyone wanted to kill her, they could die without a discussion. Hearing Yun Chujio's words, the monk was so angry that his golden body turned black. Hei Shinjio was overjoyed when she saw it. "Io, stop pretending, right? As I said, all the resentment from before has turned into Yuan Sha. How can you become a Buddha on the spot? So you are a fake." The monk's face was hideous. "You are spouting nonsense. This penniless monk is doing the right thing. How can I become a devil? Impossible. All of you have to die today. You will become the nourishment of my lotus. Continue to purify the resentment here." Hei Shinjio curled her lips. It was already like this? Why didn't he admit it? Perhaps the so-called obsession in the beginning was really out of good intentions. Unfortunately, what was the obsession? To put it bluntly, it was also resentment. As time passed, it was inevitable that he would become a devil. It was really regrettable. One had to admit that this fellow was really ambitious. At this time, he was still thinking about all sorts of things. He should think of a way to break the array. Di Baiming was afraid that Yun Chujio would be in danger, so he asked Xiao Hanio and the others to save her. However, Yun Chujio had ordered them to protect Di Baiming at all times. These dumb cuties felt that although Di Baiming was scary, Master Heizin's methods were more sinister, so it was better to listen to her. Moreover, Master Hei Xen was full of evil, so she did not necessarily need them to save her. Di Baiming was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He could only watch as countless Sanskrit words appeared in the golden lotus flower. Those Sanskrit words turned into sharp golden swords and shot into Hei Xinjia's forehead. The monk revealed a cold smile. "Female benefactor, you forced me to do this. Let the Buddhist scriptures purify your spiritual sense. It's not that this penniless monk didn't give you a chance, but you are too stubborn. Although killing you has added 2 more grudges, it's still better than letting you fall into the devil path. Hey! Imposter, aren't you tired after saying so much? What tricks do you have? I've been waiting for a long time, but nothing happened. Aren't you delaying my work?" After saying that, Hei Shinjio took out her big kitchen knife and continued to chop the lotus flowers. The monk was dumbfounded. It was impossible. The Buddha Light Golden Lotus Array was a rare array that could attack one's spiritual sense. How could this stupid girl be completely fine? How was this possible? While the monk was in a daze, Hei Shinjio had already chopped more than 10 lotus flowers. Unfortunately, there were very few lotus flowers near the shore. If she wanted to continue chopping, she could only go down into the lake. Hey, monk, you've seen it yourself. Your formation is useless against me. If you don't move aside, I'll pull out all the lotus flowers here. Hei Shinjio said arrogantly with a large kitchen knife in her hand. The monk was so angry that he gritted his teeth. After withdrawing the Buddhist light golden lotus formation, he leaped up from the lotus seat and struck Hei Shinjio with his palm. After dodging the attack, Hei Shinjio jumped into the lake with a splash and darted between the lotus flowers like a small fish. Hey, go ahead. The lotus flowers will be dead after you hit them. I don't care. The monk was so angry that he almost fainted. This stinky girl was too mean. A glint flashed across the monk's eyes. Since he had no way to deal with this stinky girl, he would take the man as a hostage. He was not afraid that the stinky girl would not give in. Therefore, the monk leaped toward Beiming. Seeing this, Hei Shinjio quickly shouted, "Little bastard, turtle shell." The little bastard quickly summoned the turtle shell and protected Beiming and the other dumb cuties inside. The monk slapped the turtle shell. The turtle shell? Well, nothing happened. Just as the monk was about to continue attacking the turtle shell, he heard Yun Chujio shout, "Io, the lotus roots of the 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus are quite delicious." The monk said in exasperation, You put it down. That's a Buddha lotus, not some 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus." Yun Chujio curled her lips. What Buddha lotus? It was clearly a 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus. Did he think she was an idiot? Hey, monk, the current situation is that you can't do anything to us, so how about we reconcile? I'm not greedy, I'll just get some lotus flowers and lotus roots. Then, well, leave this fallen god abyss, and you'll have peace. Monk was so angry that he turned completely black, but he couldn't do anything to the slippery Hei Shinjio. He gritted his teeth. You've already cut down a lot of lotus flowers, stop right now. You guys can leave through the tunnel at the bottom of the lake now. Okay. Little bastard, bring the turtle shell into the lake, Yun Chujio said with a smile. The monk always felt that Hei Xinjia's smile was a bit treacherous, and he had a bad premonition in his heart. Soon, the little bastard rolled into the lake with the turtle shell. Yun Chujio picked up the big kitchen knife and continued to cut the lotus flowers. The monk, didn't she say that she wouldn't continue to cut the lotus flowers? Where was the most basic honesty between people? Monk, I'm doing this for your own good. It's obvious that you've started to demonize. In order to release you, I need to get more lotus flowers. When the time comes, I'll refine more pills to help you build a good relationship. You don't have to be too grateful to me. Of course, it's fine if you give me more lotus roots. You're talking nonsense. I'll slap you to death. The monk had never seen such a scoundrel before. He was so angry that he couldn't care less about whether the lotus flowers would be damaged or not. He slapped Hei Shinjio. However, Hei Shinjio suddenly crawled into the turtle shell and said with a smile, All right. I won't chop you anymore. Let's go to the center of the lake and find a passage. Master, I advise you to put down the butcher's knife and become a Buddha immediately. Your obsession is also resentment. You will definitely become a devil in the long run. You should take care of yourself. After Hei Shinjio was done acting cool, she asked the little bastard to direct the turtle shell to float to the depths of the lake. While Hei Shinjio was gnawing on the lotus root inside the turtle shell, she heard the monk sigh. Female benefactor, please wait. Afraid that there might be a trap, Hei Shinjio only revealed her small head. Master, what can I do for you? The monk's black figure turned golden again. It was not the dazzling golden color from before, but a light golden color that made people feel warm. The female benefactor's words reminded the person in the dream. If it wasn't for the female benefactor intentionally enlightening and causing this penniless monk's mood to rise and fall, this penniless monk would still be obsessed with appearances. Hei Shinjio touched her nose guiltily. She was not intentionally enlightening, but this fellow would not admit it. He said pretentiously, Back then, Master sacrificed himself for the sake of all the people in the world. This young master, this young lady is full of admiration. Therefore, it's only right for this young lady to do something for Master. Xiao Heinio, who was inside the turtle shell, almost vomited. Damn, Master Heizin's face was getting thicker and thicker. No, she was completely shameless. The monk did not know that this fellow was putting on an act. He said with emotion, "The female benefactor is really clever. The most precious thing is her pure heart. This penniless monk was able to meet the female benefactor to enlighten me. This penniless monk is really lucky." Pure heart? Not to mention the few little blackbirds, even Hei Shinjio herself felt that this term was somewhat inappropriate to be used on her. Ahem, Master, you are exaggerating. I wonder what is Master's next step? Hei Shinjio quickly changed the topic. Otherwise, she was afraid that she would laugh out loud. The monk raised his head and laughed loudly. Hei Shinjio was so scared that she shivered. Oh my God, has this monk gone mad? Why was he laughing? The monk laughed for a long time before he sighed. You want me to waste the lives of countless people? I didn't expect you to be so stubborn after I died. What a joke. Almsgiver, this penniless monk has a favor to ask of you. Will you agree to it? Hei Shinjio nodded repeatedly. Please speak, Master. I will definitely help you if I can. The Master praised Hei Shinjio again and said, This penniless monk will disperse this last bit of obsession in a moment. Please help me give this relic to the bitter Zen sect at your convenience, almsgiver. This penniless monk's soul has returned to his homeland. Before Hei Shinjio could ask where the so-called bitter Zen sect was, the monk had already spread out. The last white relic with a faint golden light fell into Hei Shinjio's hand. Master! Master! Where is the bitter Zen sect? Hei Shinjio shouted. Unfortunately, there was no response. It was obvious that the monk had lost his soul. This monk is too impatient. Can't he say a few more words? He hasn't even told us where the little bowties things are. Seriously. Yun Chujio did not know that after the monk had realized the truth, he felt that staying here for even a moment would be a blasphemy to Buddha. That was why he hurriedly told her about the funeral and then disappeared. Hei Shinjio rolled her eyes. Now that no one was watching the lotus pond, it would be a waste not to take it. Thus, this guy ordered the stupid cuties to start a round of torment. However, this guy still had a conscience. He only stuffed half of the 1,000-leaf golden grade lotus into his storage ring and did not wrap it all up. Little beauty, where is the thing you want to take? Let's go find it now. Hei Shinjio hugged Di Baiming and kissed him, then said, Let's go to the center of the lake and take a look. I think it should be there. However, you have to be careful. There should be something dangerous in the center of the lake, Di Baiming said in a deep voice. Yun Chujio then realized that there was not a single fish or shrimp in the lake water. This was a very strange phenomenon. The water was not poisonous. Then, why was there no other living creature other than the lotus? Yun Chujio let the little bastard command the turtle shell to approach the center of the lake. Hei Shinjio saw through the cracks in the turtle shell. Unlike the lake water by the shore, the water near the center of the lake was very clear. It could be described as clear as the bottom of the lake. The bottom of the lake was covered in transparent white sand, which made it seem peaceful and peaceful. However, there was no sign of life at all, which made it somewhat weird. Just as Hei Shinjio was feeling anxious, black mist rose from the surface of the lake and finally formed a man who looked very fierce. The man burst into laughter. Ha! It's all because of that stinky monk. I've been suppressed at the bottom of the lake all these years. I didn't expect that the stinky monk would commit suicide. The heavens are really helping me. Hei Shinjio's heart sank. Right? The monk had said that he had other things to do. It turned out that he was not only guarding that thing, but also suppressing the man with the array formation. It seemed that he was a devil. Hei Shinjio did not dare to be careless. She opened a crack on the turtle shell and said, Hey! As you can see, I tricked that stupid monk into committing suicide. I'm your benefactor. I don't expect anything in return. Let us leave this place. The man rolled his eyes. That man can leave, but you can stay. You can be my wife. From now on, this place will be our territory. When the time is right, I'll take you out. Hearing the man's words, Di Baiming's face turned gloomy. However, his body was useless. Even if he was angry to death, he could not take care of that man. Hei Shinjio felt De-Biming's low pressure. She said to the man, "Bah. Look at your behavior. You look like you're playing around. Do you still want me? I like my little beauty like that. If you're like that, just find a piece of tofu and kill yourself." When De-Biming heard Hei Xinjia's words, the corners of his mouth curled up. As for what little master, little beauty, and so on, well, he ignored them. The man snorted coldly. "Little girl, do you know who I am? How dare you talk to me like that? Aren't you afraid of death? Who are you? Does it have anything to do with me having a spiritual stone? Judging from your ugly appearance, you must be a demon, right? TSK. Don't you know that I have a nickname called Professional Demon Slayer? The value of your existence is to make my title shine even more. You brat, you are courting death." As the man spoke, the black mist turned into several sharp-mouthed bats and pounced at Hei Shinjio. Hei Shinjio immediately shrank into the turtle shell. This is the first time I've seen such an attack. Other people are all wind blades or something. How could his mist turn into bats? However, it was also true. The monster that they had encountered in the Tianluo mystic realm could turn their spiritual sense into many monsters. It was not surprising that there were all kinds of strange things in the world. The sound of sharp-mouthed bats hitting the turtle shell kept coming from above. Fortunately, the turtle shell was very hard and there was no damage. The man could not do anything to Yun Chujio and the others. Yun Chujio did not dare to leave the turtle shell either. The two sides were in a stalemate. However, there was a serious problem in front of Yun Chujio and De-Biming. As time passed, it was getting closer and closer to the closing time of the fallen god abyss. If they did not seize the time, they would not be able to leave. Therefore, they had to think of a way to kill the demon outside. Yun Chujio had a large kitchen knife in her hand, but she did not have much confidence. Moreover, this was in the water, so the small flames would not be of much use. Just when Blackheart Jio was at a loss, Meng Yanshou spoke. "Little fairy, I have almost recovered. I will weave a dream for that demon, and you take the opportunity to kill him." In fact, Meng Yanshou had hesitated and weighed the pros and cons before deciding to step forward. This fellow was now half a soul. Using its innate ability would consume a lot of spiritual power that it had spent a lot of effort to cultivate. Therefore, it would hide whenever it could. When the monk chanted the sutras, it did not have a headache at all. It was afraid that Yun Chujio would make it attack, so it found an excuse to hide. However, looking at it now, it seemed that there was no other good method other than it. It could only brace itself and charge forward. Yun Chujio was overjoyed. It was rare that she did not rebuke the Meng Yanshou. She said in an unprecedentedly gentle tone, "Curly hair, if we can successfully kill the demon outside this time, I will lend you the script that I found in the imperial palace of the Yen clan." When the Meng Yanshou heard what Yun Chujio said, it was overjoyed. Immediately, it grinned happily. "Little fairy, don't worry. Although my strength has greatly decreased now, I am half a soul without a body. The demon can't do anything to me. We will definitely succeed." Yun Chujio and the Meng Yanshou discussed for a while more. Cough cough, Yun Chujio took the kitchen knife and killed the Meng Yanshou. To be exact, she killed Meng Yanshou's shell, the rabbit. In this way, Meng Yanshou would be able to escape from the shell. Yun Chujio opened a tiny crack in the shell. Even though the crack was extremely small, a few sharp-mouthed bats still jumped in and were burned away by Yun Chujio with a small flame. The man outside was stunned. "Stupid girl, you actually have 10,000-year-old fire marrow? But it doesn't matter. What's yours is mine. If we were on land, I might be afraid of your 10,000-year-old fire marrow. But in this lake, its effect is really limited. If you know what's good for you, come out and throw your life away. By the way, you haven't told me what kind of demon you are." In order to create an opportunity for Meng Yanshou, Yun Chujio deliberately talked to the demon outside to distract him. "I'm a demon slayer," the man said arrogantly. "Samo? Isn't that a breed of dog? Why do you have a dog name?" Hei Shinjio said with a smile. Of course, this guy knew that the man was talking about killing a demon, but he was just joking. How could the demon slayer know that Hei Shinjio was beating around the bush? He said viciously, "Nonsense. How come I haven't heard of any demon dog with this name? If there really is a demon dog, I will kill it all. I am the embodiment of countless killing intent, and I am a noble even in the demon world. Io, you are really impressive. You are actually competing with dogs. However, based on your words, the demon world is divided into different levels? You have almost died in the demon world, and there is no need to distinguish between nobles and commoners." Hei Shinjio curled her lips and said. The demon slayer snorted, "Humph! Ignorant juniors. Your so-called killing all of us in the demon world is nothing more than killing the demons who participated in the war between gods and demons. You humans have never even been to our demon world, yet you are so arrogant as to think that you can exterminate us demons? You really make people laugh. Moreover, all negative emotions in the world can be turned into demons, and demons will advance to become demons. Therefore, demons cannot be killed. Ha! Occasionally missing content, please report errors in time. If an ordinary person heard the demon saying this, they would probably suffer a huge shock and blow. After all, the human race generally believed that the demon had already been eliminated. Even if there were a few left, they would not be able to achieve anything. Who would have thought that there were still countless demons living in places that the human race did not know about, and that the demons would spontaneously appear? Unfortunately, Hei Shinjio had never thought the same as ordinary people. This fellow said with a smile, "Is what you said true? That's great. I like killing demons the most. I was worried that there were too few demons left in this world, but I didn't expect there to be demons. If there's a chance, I'll go to your demon race and kill them to my heart's content." Ha! Killing demons? Fuck, where did this mental illness come from? Weren't humans always timid and afraid of trouble? How could there be such a weirdo? Just as Sha'imo was thinking about it, he felt a little dazed. He immediately fell into the dream that Meng Yanshou had woven for him. What massacre? The demon world had occupied all the continents. In short, it was the scene that he wanted to see. Hei Shinjio saw that Meng Yanshou was absent-minded through the gap. Her eyes deepened and she swam toward Meng Yanshou from the turtle shell with a large kitchen knife. As for the sharp-mouthed bats, Hei Shinjio only held up the spiritual energy shield on her body and did not care about them. Now was the best time to kill Meng Yanshou. She could not waste any time. Meng Yanshou was immersed in the wonderful dream when he suddenly felt a sharp pain in his spiritual sense. It turned out that the sharp-mouthed bats had awakened him. However, Hei Shinjio was already in front of him, and the large kitchen knife in her hand slashed down at him. Demon Slayer tried his best to dodge, but he didn't expect the nightmare beast behind him to kick him again. It happened to be hit by Hei Xinjia's slash. Demon Slayer let out a blood-curdling scream and his body instantly turned into nothingness. This time, the nightmare beast finally believed that the kitchen knife was the Heaven Punisher divine axe. Only a divine weapon could be so powerful against a demon. It didn't expect the Heaven Punisher divine axe to turn into a kitchen knife. It was really unbelievable. Yun Chujio was afraid that cracks would appear on the large kitchen knife again. She lowered her head and saw that there was nothing unusual. Only then did she relax and put the large kitchen knife back into its sheath. The nightmare beast suddenly said, Little fairy, there's a whirlpool in the distance. It should be the exit, right?" Meng Yanshou said. Yun Chujio stretched her neck and looked. Indeed, there was a whirlpool in the distance. It didn't look particularly dangerous. It should be the exit. However, the thing the pretty boy wanted had not been found, so she could not go out for the time being. Yun Chujio entered the turtle shell. Di Baiming said, "I sense that the thing I want to take is near the whirlpool. Let's go over." Yun Chujio circled around the whirlpool a few times but did not find anything unusual. She could only get Di Baiming out of the turtle shell. Anyway, there was a water-repellent bead, so she was not afraid of drowning. Di Baiming had no spiritual power at the moment, so his senses were not very sensitive. After spending a long time, he pointed to a spot and said, "Little Gio, the thing should be under here. You dig it and see." Hei Shinjio quickly took out her pickaxe and began to dig the hole. While digging, she claimed credit. Little beauty, you said that I am an enlightened monk and a devil killer for you. Now I have to help you dig the hole. I have worked so hard for you. Why don't you let me touch you a few more times when we get out? Di Baiming squeezed out a sentence from between his teeth. Little Jio, I will remember your kindness. I will repay you well. Hearing Di Baiming's words, Hei Shinjio said smugly, It's good that you know. It's good that you know. Don't forget it when we get out. Meng Yanshou silently lit a candle for Hei Shinjio. Little fairy, if you don't do it, you won't die. Are you trying to court death? Hei Shinjio dug for a long time and said in puzzlement, Little beauty, it's strange. Why can't I dig anymore? I think I've dug into the enchantment. You pierced my finger and dripped some blood on it, Di Baiming said. Hei Shinjio suddenly realized. She had said that if it was simply buried under the sand, it would have been stolen long ago. This guy picked up Di Baiming's left hand and took the opportunity to touch it for dozens of times. Then, he took out a needle and pierced Di Baiming's finger and pressed it on the enchantment. In an instant, the scene in front of them changed. A jade box with an ancient aura appeared in front of them. This box is made of ancient green jade. Rich. Hei Shinjio held the jade box and couldn't put it down. The corner of Di Baiming's eyes twitched. Was he talking about this guy when he bought the casket and returned the pearl? Hei Shinjio also reacted at this time. She laughed dryly and wanted to open the jade box, but it took her a long time to open it. What the hell? There was no lock at all. Why couldn't she open it? Let me do it, Di Baiming said to Hei Shinjio, who was gnashing her teeth anxiously. You don't have as much strength as I do. I can't even open it, but you can. Crack. The jade box opened in Di Baiming's hand. Hei Shinjio naturally forgot what she had just said. She stretched her neck and looked at the jade box. Hei Shinjio was dazed for a moment before she burst into tears of laughter. Ha, ha. Pretty boy, are you kidding me? We spent a lot of effort to find a piece of bone? And it's so small? There was only a small bone in the jade box. It looked about the size of a thumb. It was ordinary and looked no different from a bone in a mass grave. Di Baiming held the bone in his hand. His heart palpitated. He frowned. He did not know what this bone meant to him, but he knew that he had to find it. Yun Chujio saw Di Baiming's serious expression and restrained herself. She asked, I remember you said that you were going to find something important. Is it also a bone? Di Baiming nodded. That's right. The one I found before was slightly bigger than this one. Help me keep it first. When I recover my spiritual power, you can pass it to me. Yun Chujio picked up the bone again and looked at it. She still did not find anything special, but she still carefully put it into her storage ring. Yun Chujio and Di Baiming hid in the turtle shell and moved the turtle shell into the whirlpool. Just as Yun Chujio swam out of the turtle shell, she heard Buttface say excitedly, Little fairy, you're finally back. I've been soaking in the water for almost a month. The miserable Buttface remembered Di Baiming's words when he left. He was afraid that a nightmare beast would attack him, so he stayed in the water for almost a month. Hei Shinjio looked at the swollen Buttface sympathetically, and then she was a little worried. When they came, the demonic beasts didn't dare to approach them because of the gigolo. Now that the gigolo's old illness had relapsed, how could they get out? Just when Hei Shinjio was in a dilemma, the nightmare beast in the spirit beast bag opened its mouth and said, Little fairy, you have a lot of ancient demonic beasts in your spirit beast bag. When we came out, you brought them with you. Meng Yanshou said with a smile. Hei Shinjio was stunned. Oh no, she was too busy dealing with the monk and killing the demons when she came out and forgot to let those ancient beasts go. Did she count as abducting, selling, demon, beasts? And it was an ancient rare species. Hei Shinjio went ashore. Before she could release the ancient demonic beasts, 5 fanged bloodthirsty bears jumped out of the dense forest. These fanged bloodthirsty bears had been staring at Buttface for a long time. However, Buttface hadn't come out of the lake, so they couldn't succeed. Now that they saw 2 more people, they were naturally ecstatic. It was understandable why they were ecstatic. They would get tired of eating one thing at a time, so it was necessary to change their tastes appropriately. The fanged bloodthirsty bear in the lead roared a few times proudly. It meant that they were doomed. Buttface wanted to jump back into the lake, but he didn't expect two fanged bloodthirsty bears to appear behind him. They roared proudly and cut off their escape route. Buttface's heart skipped a beat. It was over. He was really dead this time. If he had known this would happen, he would have preferred to soak in the lake. Yun Chujio said to Buttface with a smile, "Buttface, don't be afraid. These little bears are so fun. Don't worry, they won't hurt us." Little bears? Fun? Won't hurt them? Is your brain damaged from soaking in the lake? Buttface was dumbfounded. It was over. This bad thing had gone crazy. The fanged bloodthirsty bears were also dumbfounded. Was this human little girl scared silly? Little bears? How were they small? Just as they were in a daze, they heard the little girl say with a smile, "Little bears, I'll give you a chance. Get lost or die. Make your choice." The fanged bloodthirsty bears were stunned for a moment before they let out ear-piercing roars. It was obvious that they were mocking Hei Shinjio for overestimating herself. Buttface, who was holding his sword, said, "Little fairy, why don't we kill ourselves? We won't be able to live no matter what." Yun Chujio ignored this idiot and began to release the demon beasts. Yes, the ancient demon beasts. When the fanged bloodthirsty bears saw the bowl that came out at the beginning, although they were shocked, they didn't take it seriously. Although this thing was much bigger than them, it was alone and wasn't their opponent. Then, with a whoosh, two tigers were released. The fanged bloodthirsty bears encouraged themselves. Although it was a bit difficult, they could still deal with it if they put in more effort. Whoosh, another one. Seeing the demon beasts being released one after another, the fanged bloodthirsty bears were in despair. Damn it, where did this human girl get so many demon beasts? And they were strange-shaped demon beasts that they had never seen before. Could it be that she wasn't a human? That she was a demon beast that turned into a spirit? The fanged bloodthirsty bears wanted to run, but their legs were a little weak and they couldn't take a step. Buttface was dumbfounded. Oh my god! This troublemaker was really a pervert. Where did she get so many high-level demon beasts? Was it the Lord who helped her tame Xingzun? So the Lord was seriously injured? The Lord really doted on this troublemaker, Xingzun. Yun Chujio didn't pay attention to the seven-fanged bloodthirsty bears. She touched her nose and laughed dryly. "Dear babies, I'm so sorry. I came out in a hurry and forgot to send you back. However, the fallen god abyss hasn't closed yet. You can return from the whirlpool in the lake. These pills will be my apology to you. Of course, you can also follow me. I won't mistreat you." The ancient demonic beasts looked at each other and decided to return to the fallen god abyss. Because even if they thought Hei Shinjio was not bad, nothing was more important than freedom. Moreover, they were more used to living in the fallen god abyss. Hence, after Hei Shinjio established a temporary contract with the seven-fanged bloodthirsty bears, the ancient beasts returned to the fallen god abyss. With the protection of seven-fanged bloodthirsty bears, Hei Shinjio and the other two successfully left the forest. "Little beauty, what should we do next?" Yun Chujio asked cheekily. Buttface was already used to it. It was his first time seeing Hei Xinjia's suicidal behavior, and he almost fainted from shock. This person was too good at acting. However, her courage was commendable. Wasn't she afraid that Xingzun would teach her a lesson after he recovered? "My body has already recovered. I estimate that I will recover in less than 5 days. At that time, we will return to the immortal Yuan continent," Di Baiming said. Hei Xinjia's heart skipped a beat. In 5 days the gigolo would recover? Then she had to bully him quickly. Otherwise, there would be no such thing after this. As for how Di Baiming was going to deal with her after he recovered, he didn't even bother to think about it. He was going to have a good time. Therefore, for the next 5 days, Di Baiming's life could be described as water, deep, fire, and hot. Hei Shinjio tried all kinds of tricks, but Di Baiming was still resigned as usual, as if he had already accepted his fate. That morning, After Hei Shinjio opened her eyes, she hugged Di Biming out of habit and said slyly, "Good morning, little beauty." After saying that, she realized that the situation did not seem right. It seemed to be a little cold. Then, she realized that Di Biming's deep, cold eyes were staring at her. "Little Jio, have you been having a lot of fun these days, huh?" Hei Xinjia's mind suddenly went blank. She was done for. The gigolo had recovered. Her good days were over. Oh God, oh Earth, why were the good days always so short? She still had a lot of good ideas that she had yet to execute. How could the gigolo have recovered? However, the most important thing now was to fool him first. Otherwise, the gigolo would definitely not forgive her. The guy blinked his eyes and said with a flattering look, "Xiao, my beloved Prince Charming, you have finally recovered? This is really a good thing to congratulate and celebrate. Well, please wait for me for a while. I will go and prepare some face-washing water and breakfast for you." Hei Shinjio wanted to break away from Di Biming's arm as she spoke. Unfortunately, any struggle with Di Biming was futile. The guy was drenched in sweat, but he could not escape from Di Biming's iron claws. Di Biming did not say anything. He just looked at her with a slight smile, which made Hei Shinjio shudder. A sentence flashed across his mind. Karma was like a tornado. It just happened. Well, that Prince Charming, I admit that I did go a little overboard a few days ago, but that was also because you lied to me. So we're even now. What do you think? Not good. Hey Shinjio, well, Prince Charming, I know you're joking with me. It's getting late, I'll go prepare breakfast. Aren't you hungry? As the saying goes, a man is iron, rice, or steel. You'll be hungry if you don't eat. I'm hungry. Hei Shinjio was overjoyed and quickly said, Prince Charming, I told you, it's time to eat breakfast. Since you're hungry, I'll go prepare breakfast now. Di Biming curled his lips again. Being hungry is a small matter. I just want to take a good look at you now. Hei Shinjio instinctively felt that Di Biming did not have good intentions. She pointed behind Di Biming and said, Idol, what do you think that is? Unfortunately, Di Biming did not even blink his eyes. It was obvious that he had seen through her little trick. Hei Shinjio was so embarrassed that she wanted to hide under the quilt. Di Biming only raised his eyebrows, but Hei Shinjio found that she could not move. You are shameless. Don't look. Hei Xinjia's thick skin was stained with a layer of red. Di Biming looked at her deeply and curled his lips. Think about how you treated me before? Hei Shinjio was angry, and she felt a little pitiful and regretful. If she had known that he would recover so quickly, she would have done it again. She would not take advantage of that bastard. She would just let it go first. But what should she do now? The pretty boy was obviously going to settle the score later, or should she just give in first? After all, being shameless was not a meal. Thinking of this, she said pitifully, Prince Charming, I was wrong. You are magnanimous, please let me go this time, okay? I swear, as long as you let me go, I will definitely turn over a new leaf and become a new person in the future. From now on, you will be the ice and snow on the high mountain. You can only watch from afar, but you cannot do that. I promise you that I will be well behaved and never mess around again. Di Biming raised his eyebrows. Is what you said true? Of course it's true. It's more real than a pearl. Hei Shinjio only wanted Di Biming to let her go, so she naturally swore an oath. Di Biming nodded. All right, then I'll let you go this time. Hei Shinjio could not help but feel happy. Then hurry up and untie me. My hands and feet are numb. Di Biming revealed a half-smile and said, Little Jio, did I tell you that I'm good at drawing? Hei Xinjia's heart sank. What do you mean? I said that I would repay you properly. I remember that you have a lot of portraits of me. How could I not express my gratitude? Just maintain this posture today. This venerable one will help you draw a portrait. I guarantee that you will be satisfied. Di Biming said with a deep gaze. Hei Shinjio was so angry that she almost vomited blood. Shameless. How could this pretty boy become so shameless? When she drew him back then, she did not ask him to lie there and not move. You dare? If you really do that, I will not forgive you. The only thing Hei Shinjio could do now was to threaten verbally. Di Baiming smiled faintly. What's there to be afraid of? If you don't want me to draw, then I can continue what I said before. Choose one or the other, you choose. Hei Shinjio was so angry that she was about to die. Fuck, I can't live like this anymore. How can I choose? I can only choose to draw. Draw? Hei Shinjio squeezed out 2 words from between her teeth. The blackened gigolo was even blacker than her. He could not live anymore. Di Baiming took out a pen and paper from his storage ring and started to draw. Hei Shinjio was furious at first, but later, she became numb to it. If you want to draw, then draw. If I don't take revenge on you, gigolo, just you wait. After a moment, Di Baiming picked up the drawing paper and looked at it. He nodded in satisfaction. Hei Shinjio blinked and said, "Show me." Di Baiming raised his eyebrows. You want to see it? Yes, I want to see it. My dear Prince Charming, let me see it. Let me see how good your drawing skills are, Hei Shinjio said with a smile. Di Baiming glanced at her. This is drawn by me. Why should I show it to you? If you want to see it, draw it yourself. Hei Shinjio, I really want to strangle this big-tailed wolf. What's wrong with it? Hei Shinjio was so angry that she could not accept it. However, she had no choice but to admit defeat. Dear Prince Charming, I was wrong. I have once again realized my mistake. I will definitely change in the future. Well, can you untie my shackles? Di Baiming looked at Hei Xinjia's pitiful appearance and sighed. He waved his hand and Hei Shinjio regained her freedom. This fellow quickly put on his clothes. Although he wanted to strangle Di Baiming to death, he still smiled and said, Prince Charming, come, I will serve you. Di Baiming raised his eyebrows. He obviously knew what Yun Chujio was planning, but he did not expose it and allowed Hei Shinjio to curry favor with him. After breakfast, Hei Shinjio helped Di Baiming massage his shoulder and said, Prince Charming, since you have punished me and scolded me, can you forgive me now? Di Baiming said casually, from the day I was poisoned to yesterday, it has been 35 days. You can pay back your debt slowly. There's no hurry. Hei Shinjio, if she had the chance to do it all over again, she would still choose to play tricks. She did not care about the long-term relationship and only cared about the feeling of being able to torture a gigolo whenever she wanted. It was so fucking awesome. Hei Shinjio adjusted herself and then calmly changed the topic. Xiaomei, Prince Charming, when are we going back to the immortal Yuan continent? Shui Wuji and Infeng, those 2 idiots, have persisted for such a long time. It's better for me to rush back as soon as possible. There's no time to lose. Let's set off now, Di Baiming said. Has Brother Wuji's seal been broken a little? Hei Shinjio asked with concern. A part of it has been broken. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come to the Dark Continent with peace of mind. But, Di Baiming hesitated. Hei Shinjio asked impatiently, but what? A few months ago, Shui Wuji disappeared for 2 days for some unknown reason. I thought he was in danger, but he came back on his own. From that day on, that idiot was just fooling around. I thought he was poisoned, but I didn't find anything unusual. Yun Chujio blinked her eyes. Tsuke, isn't that simple? Maybe he met someone on the day he disappeared. When I see him, I'll interrogate him. By the way, Prince Charming, did Brother Wuji's personality change after he broke the seal? Di Baiming curled his lips. What changes can there be? He's still so stupid. Yun Chujio, in the eyes of a gigolo, no one was not stupid. Narcissistic maniac. When the 2 of them were about to set off, Hei Shinjio looked at Buttface and started to worry. Princess Wang Yu was not a good person. If she were to find Buttface, she would definitely seek revenge. How would she settle Buttface? She did not expect Buttface to take the initiative to say, Little fairy, you and the Lord can leave without worry. I'm just a small guard. Moreover, after such a long time, the people in the Imperial Palace probably have forgotten what I look like. If I shave off my full beard, they won't be able to recognize me. At worst, I'll just stay far away from Han City. Yun Chujio thought about it and agreed. Emperor Yen would definitely not bother a guard like him out of boredom. Princess Wang Yu wouldn't be able to stir up any trouble, so he left a lot of pills and nightmare stones for Buttface and told him to be careful. After saying goodbye to Buttface, Hei Shinjio rode her sword to the entrance to the immortal Yuan continent. As soon as Hei Shinjio mounted her flying sword, she immediately recalled the old and new grudges. Unfortunately, this guy had no guts to be a thief. He could only silently destroy a certain lord in his heart, after cursing the pretty boy hundreds of times in her heart. Then, she asked curiously, Prince Charming, when I fell from the entrance of the venomous miasma forest, it was a huge bird's nest. Could the teleportation array be inside that bird's nest? Di Baiming looked at her as if he was looking at an idiot. The teleportation array in the venomous miasma forest is a random teleportation array. Therefore, the locations of the teleportation arrays are different. Hei Shinjio touched her nose. Wasn't it amazing that she knew more than her? Prince Charming, is the location of the teleportation array that we return to also random? That's right. After we leave the teleportation array, we will be teleported to different places. Be careful. If you run into any danger, remember to crush the jade token that I gave you. Hei Shinjio nodded. She was a little excited. That was great. She was finally going to get rid of the gigolo. She was finally going to say goodbye to her days of being a slave. Di Baiming glanced at her. Are you very happy to be separated from me? Prince Charming, how can you say that? I can't bear to part with you. I can't wait to be with you all the time. The little girl in his heart was so happy when he said that. I won't serve you anymore. I'm going to have fun on my own. Di Baiming understood the guy's thoughts too well. He snorted coldly and said, Little Jio, because that idiot Shui Wuji is getting stronger, I will have a lot of time to visit you in the future. Let's settle the score slowly. There's no hurry. Hei Shinjio pretended to be confused. Tilting her head, she said, Prince Charming, only when the world is united does we dare to be in love with Junju. How can there be a score between us? What? Prince Charming, if something happens to your body, don't force yourself. Remember to send me a message. Seeing that Yun Chujio was deliberately changing the topic, Di Baiming did not insist and nodded. When you go back, don't get involved in the matters of the Yen clan. Cultivate well and don't get into trouble. Hei Shinjio blinked her eyes. Prince Charming, since you are the lord of the Yen clan, why don't you teach them a lesson? Sheng Zun asked, I've lost a lot of my memories, so I'm not too sure about what happened back then. Besides, you heard what Shaimo said. The demons have always been eyeing the humans. The humans are too comfortable, so it's good to practice with the Yen clan. Hei Shinjio, she suddenly felt sorry for the Yen clan. How could it be destroyed? A few days later, the two arrived at a valley. After Di Baiming opened the enchantment, he first let Yun Chujio enter the teleportation formation before he walked into the teleportation formation as well. After an unknown period of time, Hei Shinjio fell to the ground. When this fellow got up and saw it, he was instantly dumbfounded. Damn God, are you playing with me? Isn't this the land of the nightmare ancestor? How did she get teleported here? However, it made sense. When the nightmare clan had left the dark continent, they had probably arrived here. Otherwise, they wouldn't have built the land of the nightmare ancestor here. Just as this fellow was looking around, he heard footsteps coming from afar. In a moment of panic, he entered the sacrificial temple next to Meng Yanshou. It was the sacrificial temple where the nightmare beast had been. Hei Shinjio took off the spirit-concealing ring from her hand and hid behind the curtain of the temple. Soon, the sound of footsteps could be heard from outside. The door of the main hall was pushed open. Smash the statue! A cold and angry voice said. Hei Xinjia's heart sank. It was really a narrow road for enemies. It was actually AOG, that bullshit crown prince. Could it be that he had already helped his father regain the power of the Yen clan? Hei Shinjio had a few thoughts in her mind. The jade token given to her by D-Biming could not be used unless it was at a critical moment. It would be best if she could think of a way to fool him. Just as he was thinking of a way, someone stopped him. Your Highness, this is the statue of the Holy Beast. You can't smash it, that's right, Your Highness. Although the round platform has been destroyed, the statue of the Holy Beast cannot be destroyed. Who knows, the Holy Beast might come back one day. Aog snorted coldly. What Holy Beast? It spread rumors and caused internal strife in our nightmare race, causing many people of our nightmare race to lose their lives because of it. Smash it? The people around could not stop him, so they had no choice but to have their subordinates smash the statue of the Mengyensho. Hei Shinjio knew that she would be exposed sooner or later. While those people were smashing the statue, she made her face waxen, drew a random 8-shaped eyebrow, and made a big red lip. After adjusting the level of her spiritual power to the 8th level of the Ling Shen realm, she lay on the ground. She pretended to be dead. Very soon, someone discovered Hei Shinjio. That person cried out in fear, "Ghost! Ghost! There's a ghost!" Those Yen clansmen were already somewhat fearful of smashing the Holy Beast statue. Hearing that person's shout, they immediately went into chaos. Shut up! What's going on? Aog shouted sternly. The guard who first discovered Yun Chujio said with a trembling voice, Your Highness, there's a female ghost. Aog frowned. He did not believe that there was a female ghost here. Before he walked over, a little girl walked out from behind the curtain. She had a sallow face, 8-shaped eyebrows, and big red lips. She was really like a ghost. Greetings, Your Highness. Hei Shinjio bowed to Aog. Aog frowned. Who are you? Why are you hiding in the sacrificial temple? What are your intentions? Hearing Aog's words, the guards immediately surrounded Hei Shinjio. It turned out that she was not a ghost, but an ugly little girl. Yun Chujio bit her lips and said shyly, Your Highness, I have always admired you. It's just that I haven't had the chance to express my love to you. Aog almost vomited. This was the first time he felt that being liked by others was so disgusting. The faces of the guards and ministers were also stiff. This ugly freak was really overestimating herself. With her appearance, she still dared to like His Highness the Crown Prince. She didn't even look in the mirror. Their nightmare race had always been a handsome man and a beautiful woman. It was the first time in their lives that they had seen such an ugly woman. Aog held back his nausea and asked, I asked you why you were in the Divine Hall. Don't try to reason with him. Tell me, why are you here? Hei Xinjia's sallow face blushed. Your Highness, it's because I admire you. So, when I heard that this damn holy beast slandered you, I wanted to come over and scold it. I didn't think that I would meet you before I had the chance to scold it. This is really fate. Hei Shinjio even gave Aog a coquettish look when she said this. Of course, in the eyes of others, this fellow was just rolling his eyes. Aog frowned. He didn't doubt it too much. Ever since the infighting within the Nightmare clan, the guards of the Nightmare Ancestors' land had become useless. That was why this ugly freak had the chance to enter the Nightmare Ancestors' land. Aog then looked at Yun Chujio's spiritual power level. She was only at the 8th level of the Lingshen realm, so it was unlikely that she was a spy. Besides, no spy would send such an eye-catching spy. Just as Aog was thinking, he saw a burning gaze staring at him. He looked up and saw that ugly freak drooling while staring at him. Aog almost vomited when he saw this scene. All right, you can leave now. Don't barge into the Nightmare Ancestors' land again in the future, or else I'll kill you without mercy, Aog said coldly. The reason why Aog was so easy to talk to was firstly because he really did not think that Hei Shinjio was a spy. Secondly, although Aog had obtained victory in the internal strife of the Nightmare clan this time, he also wanted to repair the impression that the people of the Nightmare clan had of him due to the damage to his reputation from the rumors previously. When Hei Shinjio heard Aog's words, she was overjoyed. However, she still pretended to be reluctant to part with him, bowed and walked out. Where did this ugly freak come from? How dare she trespass into the land of the Yen ancestor? She is really audacious. Kill her. A sharp female voice said. Hei Shinjio was furious. It was this Princess Pian Pian again. She was simply a jinx. Nothing good would happen to her. Princess Pian Pian's guards were about to go forward and capture Yun Chujio when Yun Chujio's eyes flashed and she ran to Aojis' side. Your Highness, save me. This fellow knew that the only one who could save her now was Aog. Otherwise, Princess Pian Pian would definitely kill her. Aog frowned. Pian Pian, why are you here? Brother Crown Prince, I missed you. That's why I came to see you. Who is this ugly freak? Princess Pian Pian asked as she held onto Aojis' arm. Aog calmly shook off Princess Pian Pian's arm. He said coldly, she's just a commoner. Pian Pian, our wedding is in a month's time. You should properly prepare for marriage in the manor. What are you doing here? Why aren't you going back? Seeing Aojis' gloomy face, Princess Pian Pian didn't dare to say anything more. Instead, she glared at Yun Chujio viciously. She thought to herself, it's all because of this ugly freak. When the crown prince leaves, I'll definitely kill this bitch. Hei Shinjio was so smart. She immediately saw through Princess Pian Pian's plan. Moreover, she could roughly figure out Aojis' intention of bribing people. Therefore, after Princess Pian Pian left, this guy sat down on the ground with an "oh" sound, as if he was overly frightened. Hei Shinjio had a good plan. She felt that since Aog wanted to buy people's hearts, he would definitely send someone to escort her home. This way, she could avoid Princess Pian Pian's vicious hand. Then, she would find an opportunity to leave the poisonous miasma forest. This lady is too frightened. Let's bring her back to the Crown Prince's residence first, Aog said after some thought. Hey Shinjio, damn it, bringing a lady back to the residence at the slightest disagreement. Aren't you afraid of that little bitch beating you up? It just so happened that she had said that she loved Aog. If she insisted on not going now, it might arouse suspicion. Therefore, she could only pretend to be extremely happy and was brought to the Crown Prince's residence miserably. When Princess Pian Pian heard the news, she was so angry that she gritted her teeth. Although that ugly freak was ugly, for some reason she felt uneasy. No, she had to think of a way to kill her. After Hei Shinjio was brought to the Crown Prince's residence, it caused a sensation. The Crown Prince actually brought a woman back. And it was an ugly freak. My God, has the Crown Prince's taste been distorted to this extent? Of course, Aog did not have the time to bother with Hei Shinjio, so he asked the guard to hand her over to Butler Luan of the Crown Prince's mansion. Aogis' original intention was for Butler Luan to find a doctor to treat Yun Chujio, and then send her away. However, it just so happened that a subordinate was looking for him to report the matter, so he did not go into detail. Therefore, after the guards saw Butler Luan, he only gave a brief account of the matter and then left. Housekeeper Luan was now in a difficult position. If he did not explain clearly, how was he going to arrange for this ugly girl? Housekeeper Luan thought that since this ugly girl adored the Crown Prince and the Crown Prince had brought her back, perhaps the Crown Prince really liked this kind of girl. No wonder the Crown Prince had been chaste for so many years. It turned out that his tastes were different from others. Thinking of this, Housekeeper Luan asked the maid to arrange for Hei Shinjio to stay in Imo Lanshan, which was next to Aogis' courtyard. Hei Shinjio did not know Housekeeper Luan's inner world. She was still puzzled. Although Aog was not very good, the quality of the servants in the Crown Prince's residence was not bad. They were actually so polite and respectful to her. This guy thought that Princess Pian Pian would definitely arrange for people to wait outside the Crown Prince's residence to kill her, so he decided to stay in the Crown Prince's residence for a few more days. After Princess Pian and the others let their guard down, she would think of a way to leave the Crown Prince's residence. This fellow had always been ambitious. In any case, she had food, drinks, and people to serve her. It was simply wonderful. As for Di Biming, he could sense that she was fine through the jade token, so he would not be too worried. Thus, This fellow settled down in the crown prince's residence with a peace of mind. Aog was busy all day long, so he had long forgotten about Hei Shinjio. He had forgotten, but Princess Pian had not forgotten. She had heard that that ugly freak had not only stayed in the crown prince's residence, but had also stayed in the courtyard next to Aogis. She was so angry that her eyes turned red. It was not easy, but those bastards from the 4 great families had all died. Now, an ugly freak had come out to compete with her for the crown prince's brother. This was simply outrageous. Thus, just after breakfast that day, Princess Pian Pian came to the door aggressively. Aog had left early in the morning, so Princess Pian Pian had missed him. She said to Butler Luan arrogantly, "Who told you to arrange for her to stay in Mo Lanxian? How dare you? Call that ugly freak over." Butler Luan was a 3rd-grade official in front of the Prime Minister. She was usually someone everyone fawned over, so when had she ever been reprimanded like this? He was very dissatisfied with Princess Pian Pian, but he did not dare disobey the order, so he personally came to Mo Lanxian. "Miss Yi, Princess Pian Pian wants you to go over," Steward Luan said politely. Hei Shinjio naturally would not say her real name, so she used Yi Xiaoxiao's fake name back then. This fellow felt that her name was very good. Yi Xiaoxiao turned out to be this young master, ha! When Hei Shinjio heard that Princess Pian Pian was looking for her, she was immediately overwhelmed with drama. This fellow's face revealed a terrified expression. "Housekeeper Luan, Princess Pian Pian tried to kill me the last time in the Nightmare Lord's land. She must be here to kill me this time. Please save me." Princess Pian Pian killed people at will. It was too terrifying. "Can I not go?" Housekeeper Luan said with difficulty. "Miss Yi, Princess Pian Pian has a noble status. If you don't go, I'm afraid she will personally bring people here." Hei Shinjio looked like she was about to cry. "Housekeeper Luan, I beg you, please give me a way out. If Princess Pian Pian sees me, she will definitely kill me. Is there a back door to the Crown Prince's residence? I'll go out through the back door and hide. I'll come back when she's gone." Housekeeper Luan was already dissatisfied with Princess Pian Pian. Now that she saw how pitiful Yun Chujio sounded, she felt a little sympathetic and sighed. "All right, I'll get someone to bring you out from the back door. You can come back when the Crown Prince returns." Hei Shinjio was naturally very grateful. Housekeeper Luan arranged 2 maids to accompany Hei Shinjio out of the back door. Hei Shinjio was overjoyed. Later, she would find an excuse to get rid of these 2 maids so that she could leap freely in the sea and fly freely in the sky. Hei Shinjio blinked her eyes. "My 2 sisters, thank you for taking care of me these past few days. I can't thank you enough. Let's go and take a look around the silk store. I'll give you 2 sisters a few sets of clothes as a token of my gratitude." The 2 handmaidens declined, but they could not hide their smiles and accompanied Hei Shinjio to the satin shop. The reason why Hei Shinjio chose the satin shop was to use the 2 handmaidens to try on the clothes so that she could get away. When the time came, she would wipe her eyebrows and red lips and make sure that no one would recognize her. It was flawless. In her heart, she had already started to draw a beautiful blueprint for returning to the Hunyuan sect. She was now a great hero of the human race, and she was also the leader of the unaffiliated Cultivator Alliance. Who would not praise her a little? Hei Xinjia's thoughts were pretty good. She didn't expect to meet Aog, who had just returned from the Imperial Palace before she even entered the Satin House. Aog's face was gloomy. The father of the Jie family, Princess Pian Pian's father, Prince Ankong, was becoming more and more arrogant. When the 4 aristocratic families were divided, the Empress had helped her mother's family speak up for them. The Prince Ankong's estate had indeed gained a lot of power. Originally, this was not a big deal. After all, Princess Pian Pian was about to marry Aog. It could be considered as keeping the benefits to herself. However, King Ankong was becoming more and more arrogant. Today, during the meeting, he took advantage of his seniority to scold Aog. Aog was proud and arrogant, so his mood was naturally not much better. When the commander of the guards beside Aog saw that his master was in a bad mood, In order to divert his attention, he pointed at Yun Chujio and said, "Your Highness, look, isn't that Yi Xiaoxiao?" Aog looked in the direction of the commander of the guards. At this moment, Yun Chujio was in the satin manor, beaming with delight as she persuaded the two maids to pick their clothes. Her eyes were lively. Although she still looked ugly, she was somewhat playful and cute. Aog felt that he must have seen a ghost. He actually thought that ugly freak was playful and cute. He must have been muddled by King On Kong's anger. However, why was this ugly girl with the maid of the Crown Prince's residence? Aog strolled into the satin manor. "Why are you here? Does your family live nearby?" Hei Xinjiu did not expect to meet Aog so unluckily. She was stunned at first, but before she could speak, one of the maids said respectfully, "Your Highness, Princess Pian Pian is in our residence and seems to be looking for trouble with Miss Yi. Miss Yi is afraid, so she was escorted out of the back door by the two servants." After saying that, the maid even looked at Hei Xinjiu in a flattering manner, implying that she was helping Hei Xinjiu so that Hei Xinjiu would not be embarrassed to tell on her. Hei Xinjiu's heart was like a dog that had been bald. "You are not helping at all." This fellow hurriedly said, "Your Highness, thank you for taking care of me these few days. I'm fine now. I'll take my leave now." After saying that, Hei Xinjiu was about to turn around and leave. Before the guy took a few steps, he heard Aog say, "Wait, aren't you in love with me? If that's the case, I'll ask you to be the Crown Prince's side concubine after I return to the mansion." Hei Xinjiu staggered and almost fell to the ground. Holy shit! Ask her to be the Crown Prince's side concubine? Is Aog crazy? "Your Highness, are you joking? I know you must be joking. Well, they'll take my leave now." Hei Xinjiu was about to run away after saying that. What kind of bullshit side concubine was that? If the gigolo found out about this, he would definitely kill her. Unfortunately, the Crown Prince's guards had already blocked her way. There was no way for her to escape. Aog frowned and looked at Hei Xinjiu maliciously. "What I said is true. You said that you adored me before, and now you want to escape. What are your intentions?" Hei Xinjiu's lowered eyes were filled with frustration. But now, the enemy was stronger and she was weaker. She could only take one step at a time. She said shyly, "Your Highness, you really didn't lie to me? I can't believe that it's true. How can I be the princess consort of the Yen clan's crown prince? I'm so happy that I'm about to faint." Hei Xinjiu said and even winked at Aog. Yes, she rolled her eyes. Aog was disgusted by the winking, but when he remembered his purpose, he still said, "In that case, follow me back to the residence." Hei Xinjiu agreed and followed Aog back to the Crown Prince's residence. Hei Xinjiu really could not understand why Aog wanted to marry her as a side concubine of the Crown Prince. True love was definitely impossible. What was his purpose? As soon as Aog entered the Crown Prince's residence, a guard came to report, "Your Highness, Princess Pian Pian is beating and smashing Mo Lanxian. Butler Luan could not stop her and was planning to send me to find you." Aog's expression immediately became extremely gloomy. Previously, although he felt that this cousin was arrogant and willful, he could still tolerate it. Now, she had become like her father who did not know how to restrain himself. It was really detestable to the extreme. As Aog thought of this, he glanced at the ugly girl behind him. He could use this ugly girl to teach her a lesson. As Aog thought of this, he walked to Mo Lanxian. Before he reached Mo Lanxian, he heard Princess Pian Pian's sharp voice from afar. "Smash! Smash! Smash that slut out! She actually dares to live next door to Brother Crown Prince. I must kill her today." "Who do you want to kill?" Aog said coldly. Princess Pian Pian turned around and saw Aog. She immediately smiled, but when she saw Hei Xinjiu behind Aog, her expression instantly became ferocious. "Brother Crown Prince, why are you with that slut?" Aog snorted coldly. "Why can't I be with her? I've decided to make her a side concubine of the Crown Prince." "What? A side concubine of the Crown Prince? No, I don't believe it. Why would you like such an ugly freak? Princess Pian Pian roared in disbelief. Although Xiao Xiao looks ordinary, she is gentle and virtuous. I have made up my mind. Don't say more. If you still don't know how to restrain yourself, I will marry Xiao Xiao and make her my princess consort. Guards, send the guest out. Aog said coldly. Princess Pian Pian almost collapsed on the ground. What? The crown prince actually said that he would make that ugly freak his princess consort? Then what about her? Princess Pian Pian looked at He Xinjiu viciously and pounced on her like a crazy person. Bitch. It's all your fault. I'm going to kill you. He Xinjiu was not stupid, so she naturally would not wait to be beaten up. In a flash, she hid behind Aog. Aog looked at the crazy Princess Pian Pian and raised his hand in disgust. He directly pushed Princess Pian Pian to the side. What are you still standing there for? Send the guests out. Housekeeper Luan quickly ordered his maids to drag Princess Pian Pian out. He had long disliked this Princess Pian Pian. This Princess Pian Pian was still passable in the past. Ever since King Ankong took power, she had become more and more arrogant. She was really inferior to Miss Yi. At least, Miss Yi was always smiling at everyone. Yes, although her smile was quite scary. He Xinjiu saw that Princess Pian Pian was defeated, and she gloated in her heart. She deserved it. If not for this Princess Pian Pian, she would have returned to the Chaos Origins sect to show off. Aog was obviously not in a good mood. He glanced at He Xinjiu and said coldly, since I've said that I'll make you the crown prince's side concubine, you should stay in the manor obediently. If I find out that you have any other intentions, Yes, commoner girl. Commoner girl will definitely keep her duties and wait for the day of marriage. After He Xinjiu said that, she parted her big red lips and gave Aog a flirtatious look. Aog said a few words perfunctorily and then left in a hurry. He had already decided that even if he married this ugly girl in the future, he would not get close to her. Such an ugly freak really could not bring himself to say anything. However, that ugly girl's eyes were very intelligent. What a pity for those eyes. However, why did he feel that those eyes looked somewhat familiar? Forget it. Why did he feel that the ugly girl looked familiar? He must have been thinking too much. After Aog left, Housekeeper Luan smiled and said to Yun Chujio, Miss Yi, congratulations. The rest of the servants also expressed their congratulations to He Xinjiu. He Xinjiu's heart was like a dog crying, but she could only pretend to be happy and even gave everyone some nightmare stones. In the next few days, He Xinjiu obtained some information and could basically figure out Aog's intentions. Firstly, Aog was dissatisfied with King Ankong's father and daughter's arrogance and wanted to teach them a lesson. Secondly, he wanted to win the hearts of the people. As the crown prince, he had married a commoner as the crown prince's consort. Moreover, she was an ugly woman. Naturally, he would gain some good impressions. He Xinjiu sneered in her heart. Great Aunt was not a tool that you could use. Not to mention the crown prince's side consort, even the crown prince's consort was not of interest to her. He Xinjiu decided to find an opportunity to escape. She had already chosen the day to escape. That day would be the day of Aog and Princess Pian Pian's wedding. That day Aog and the others would definitely go to the land of the Yen ancestor to pay their respects to the ancestors. The guards of the crown prince's residence would be lax, and she would have a chance to escape from the crown prince's residence. Thus, in the following days, He Xinjiu lived in the crown prince's residence with good food and drinks. In the beginning, Aog would ask He Xinjiu about her movements. Later, when he saw that she was completely in high spirits, he did not pay any attention to her. Princess Pian Pian wanted to cause trouble for He Xinjiu, but she was afraid of angering Aog, so she made up her mind. When she became the crown prince's consort, she would teach that bitch a good lesson. Want to be the crown prince's side consort? Dream on. Finally, the day of the wedding arrived. He Xinjiu knocked the two maids to the ground and adjusted the level of her spiritual power to the first layer of the spiritual void tier. She changed into one of the maid's clothes, removed the makeup on her eyebrows and bright red lips, and then carefully left Mo Lanxian. The people of the Crown Prince's mansion were busy preparing for the wedding banquet in the evening, so no one paid attention to Hei Shinjio, who had passed by in a hurry. Hei Shinjio slipped to the back door, quietly knocked over the guards, and then escaped from the Crown Prince's mansion. Hei Shinjio learned her lesson from the previous time and did not dare to delay any longer. She quickly left the imperial city. This guy kept changing his clothes and spiritual power level along the way. In half a day's time, he would be able to reach the poisonous miasma area. Hei Shinjio finally let out a sigh of relief. As long as she arrived at the poisonous miasma area, she would not be afraid even if Aog caught up with her. Just as Hei Shinjio was thinking about it, she felt the ground shake. Obviously, many people were coming. Hei Shinjio turned her head and saw dust flying in the distance. Many people were riding on nightmare beasts and were flying in her direction. Hei Xinjia's heart sank. Were they here to catch her? This guy shook his head. Although Aog would be very angry if she ran away, he would not go to such great lengths to come here to catch her. She must be thinking too much. Thinking of this, Hei Shinjio stood by the roadside and prepared to continue her journey after these people passed. Unexpectedly, those people actually surrounded her. A cold voice said, "Should I call you Yi Xiaoxiao or kill little Jiao? Or Leng Xiaojiao or Yun Chujiao?" Hei Xinjia's heart sank. She looked up and saw Aog jumping down from a huge nightmare beast, staring at Yun Chujiao. "Your Highness, are you kidding me? Why can't I understand?" Hei Shinjio looked shocked and innocent. "Yun Chujiao, you played me so badly. No wonder you disappeared from the military camp. So you became a maid. No wonder there was a sudden change in the nightmare ancestors' land. It was all your fault. You even lived in my crown prince's residence for a month. How dare you?" Aog looked furious. He felt that he was a fool to be toyed with by a little girl. If it were not for the fact that he had discovered something by accident, he probably would not have noticed it in his entire life. Seeing that Aog had said so much, Yun Chujiao knew that there was no point in quibbling. She simply smiled and said, "Aog, you are not too stupid. But how did you find out?" Aog looked at Yun Chujia's smile and gritted his teeth in anger. "No matter how I found out, you can't think of leaving today. We have to settle the score." Yun Chujiao blinked her eyes and curled the corners of her lips. "All right, I can't beat you anyway, so do as you wish." Seeing that Yun Chujiao was so sensible, Aog's expression softened a little. He said to his subordinates, "Tie her up and bring her back to the Crown Prince's mansion." "Yes." The two guards agreed and were about to tie Yun Chujiao up, but unexpectedly, Yun Chujiao threw a big sack at them. The two guards subconsciously flashed, and the big sack fell to the ground. Boom! The chili inside flew everywhere, choking everyone's eyes. Hei Shinjio took the opportunity to jump out of the encirclement and ran forward desperately. Although she was confident in her movement technique, Aog knew a secret technique, so it was better to run faster. Aog choked on his snot and tears, so angry that he almost passed out. He had never experienced such a setback in his life, especially when he had lost to the same woman several times. Therefore, when he found out that Hei Shinjio was Yun Chujiao, he brought people to catch her. Although Yun Chujiao had changed her clothes along the way, Aog still managed to find her through a nightmare beast that could distinguish her scent. The moment Aog saw Hei Shinjio, other than anger, there was also an indescribable joy in his heart. He thought that this was the joy of getting his revenge. Aog looked at Hei Xinjia's back and a cold smile appeared in his eyes. This Yun Chujiao was really out of her mind. If she ran any further, she would be in the poisonous miasma forest. She was seeking her own death. Hei Shinjio ran with her life on the line. When she couldn't run anymore, she let Xiao Hong out and rode on it. Xiao Hong's fifth tail had already grown out, but it hadn't fully grown yet, so she didn't know what abilities it would gain. However, its speed was much faster than before. Aog looked at the girl on top of the red fox in front of him and gritted his teeth in anger. He bit his finger and was about to cast a forbidden spell. Your Highness, you have already used a forbidden spell once before, you cannot use it again. Although that Yunchujio is detestable, you do not need to use a forbidden spell. Moreover, the poisonous miasma area is ahead. She cannot escape, the commander of the guards advised bitterly. Aog thought about it and agreed. Even if she couldn't catch up with her now, she couldn't run away from the poisonous miasma area in front of them. Therefore, Aog gave up the idea of using the forbidden spell and followed closely behind Heishinjio. Finally, Heishinjio reached the edge of the poisonous miasma area. Yunchujio, the poisonous miasma area is in front of us. If you don't want to die, stop right now. Aog shouted coldly. Yunchujio jumped down from Xiaohong. She curled her lips. Aog, even if I die, I won't go back with you. We'll meet again. Oh right, if you want to be the Yen clan's crown prince or the future Emperor Yen, then you can live peacefully with US humans. Otherwise, I'll kill you. Aog was so angry that he laughed. Yunchujio, I'm not joking with you. If you go into the poisonous miasma area ahead, you'll definitely die. I can promise you that as long as you come back with me to the crown prince's residence, I won't kill you. Who are you lying to? How can you not kill me? However, you should thank me. If it wasn't for me, your royal family would still be restricted by the 4 great families. However, the power of a foreign relative is also a disaster. You are also stupid enough to dare to marry Princess Pian Pian. Heishinjio had already stepped into the miasma area with 1 foot, so she had nothing to fear. Aog had a complicated expression on his face. The reason why he sent troops to attack the human race was to get rid of the 4 great family suppression. Yunchujio had instigated the internal strife in the Yen clan, which had indirectly helped him to clear the obstacles. As for the external relatives, they were only worried about their mother. It would be easy for them to take care of King Ankong. Yunchujio, you are right. You have indirectly helped me. So, as long as you obediently follow me back to the crown prince's residence, not only will I not kill you, I will also treat you well, Aog said somewhat anxiously. Yunchujio curled her lips. It would be a ghost if she believed him. Yunchujio smiled brightly at Aog. Then thank you for your good intentions. However, I don't like to be manipulated by others the most. So, goodbye. I will never see you again. Yunchujio said that she was having fun. She slipped into the poisonous miasma area and disappeared in a moment. Aog did not expect that Yunchujio would really dare to enter the poisonous miasma area. He subconsciously wanted to chase after her, but was stopped by the guards beside him. Your Highness, you can't go in. That is the poisonous miasma area. If you go in, you will die. Aog stopped in his tracks dejectedly. Why did she still go in even though she knew that going in meant death? Was he so unworthy of her trust? He really did not intend to kill her. Aog was stunned for a while, and then a hint of ruthlessness flashed in his eyes. Send a message to Emol Wan and imprison King Ankong. Your Highness, that crown princess consort? I did not complete the marriage ceremony with her, so what kind of crown princess consort is she? Imprison her as well. Yes. Aog stared at the poisonous miasma forest. Yunchujio would not die just like that. She cherished her life the most. So how could she go in even though she knew she was going to die? Yunchujio, I will catch you one day. Heishinjio was in a great mood at the moment. She could finally return to the primordial chaos sect and strut her stuff. Just thinking about it made her very happy, didn't it? Jin Ji and Bing Yu were probably worried sick. Senior brother and Shangguan must also be worried about her safety. Right? There was also her Lung Datus Deputy Alliance Master, Heishinjio was afraid that she would be dragged into the teleportation array again, so she deliberately avoided the place where the black fog was last time. Meng Yanshou grinned and said, Little fairy, the teleportation array will only appear after a long time, so you can go ahead without worry. Hearing Meng Yanshou's words, Yunchujio heaved a sigh of relief. but she did not dare to relax. Because this fellow was afraid that AOG would arrange for people to block the exit of the miasma district, he did not dare to delay even a single moment. A day later, Hei Shinjio finally passed through the miasma district. She thought that the Yen clan had already retreated to the far west, and most of the human forces in the 10,000 miles Gobi Desert should have already retreated. Therefore, she did not head towards the 10,000 miles Gobi Desert, but chose to return directly to the Hunyuan sect. She walked and stopped on the way. Hei Shinjio actually heard a piece of news that shocked her greatly. Something had happened to the Killing Origin sect. It was said that half a month ago, a group of people had arrived outside the mountain gate of the Killing Origin sect. The person in the lead claimed that they were the direct descendants of the Killing Origin sect and asked Master Xiahou to give up the position of sect master. The people of the Killing Origin sect were instantly dumbfounded. Following that, they found out that the founder of this group of people was the disciple and grand-disciple of Patriarch Hongyuan's eldest disciple, Ji Qian. Back then, Ji Qian had gone out to train and had never returned. In addition, there was still no news from Master Hongyuan. Therefore, everyone recommended that Master Hongyuan's second disciple, Zhuang Muli, take over as the sect master of the Murderous Origin sect. After that, it had been passed down to this day. They did not expect that Ji Qian's disciple and grand-disciple would suddenly appear to compete for the position of sect master. It was really unexpected. What made the Murderous Origin sect even more troubled was that not only did these people have superb spiritual power, but the leader, Murong Hanlai, was a generation older than Master Xiahou. In terms of seniority, Master Xiahou had to address him as Master Xiahou. Then, there was a problem. If they were to really pursue this matter, Master Xiahou really did not have the right. Because according to the records of the Origin Killing sect, Master Hongyuan's favorite disciple back then was his eldest disciple, Ji Qian. He had also said long ago that the future position of the sect master must be passed on to his eldest disciple, Ji Qian. If it was not for Ji Qianyo's disappearance, the position of the sect master would not have fallen to his second disciple, Zhuang Muli. With such a serious argument, Master Xiaohu's position as the sect master became somewhat unjustified. Facing the aggressive Murong Hanlai, he was somewhat unable to withstand it. However, the vast majority of the people in the Murderous Origin sect still agreed with Master Xiahou. After all, they knew him well. Who knew what kind of person Murong Hanlai was? Moreover, he had also brought a group of direct descendants back. If he were to take over power in the future, they would not have a good ending. Of course, there were also some people who had long harbored feelings for Master Xiahou. They took the opportunity to fan the flames and joined Murong Hanlai. For a time, the Murderous Origin sect was in chaos. Hei Shinjio blinked her eyes. Back when she had obtained the ring of Hongyuan Master in the Burning Sky Mystic Realm, that stupid flood dragon had once shown her a portrait. It was said that that person was Hongyuan Master's disciple. It must be that eldest disciple, Ji Qian. Hei Shinjio curled her lips. In terms of seniority, who could be higher than her? The Murderous Origin sect and the Hunyuan sect would belong to her sooner or later. Now, Murong Hanlai had appeared and snatched her Murderous Origin sect? He was really courting death. Hei Shinjio pondered for a moment. Right now, her spiritual power was too low. If she went directly to the Killing Yuan sect to show off, there was a high chance that she would not have a good ending. Therefore, she had to go and check on the situation first. Therefore, this guy did not return to the Mixed Yuan sect. Instead, he ran straight to the Killing Yuan sect. After going through so many things, this guy became much more cautious. When he reached the entrance of the Killing Yuan sect, he finally told An Linchuan and the others that she was still alive. As for Jin Ji and Yi Bingyu, they had already learned from An Feng that she was safe and sound. Therefore, when the disciples guarding the gate of the Murder Essence sect saw Hei Shinjio, it was as if they had seen a ghost. Bad news bag, you're still alive? One of the disciples said with his eyes wide open. Hei Shinjio curled her lips. Of course I'm still alive and am still living quite well. I, the great hero who fought against the Yen clan, have returned. Why aren't you guys going in to deliver the letter? It's fine if Master Xiahou doesn't welcome me. At the very least, he should send a few peak masters to welcome me, right? The corners of the eyes of the disciples guarding the mountain gate twitched. However, they still used their identity jade tokens to send a message to the upper echelons of the murderous origin sect. At this moment, the meeting hall was filled with a tense atmosphere. Master Xiahou sat on the main seat, and an old man sat on his left hand. It was Murong Hanlai. His face was cold and ruthless, and the pressure he released made everyone present uncomfortable. Master Xiahou, we've already been here for more than half a month. You've been dragging this out. When are you going to give us an answer? Master Xiahou was actually feeling a little conflicted. It was fine if he didn't want to be the sect master himself, and this Murong Hanlai did indeed have a reason to take back the position of sect master. However, he didn't represent himself alone. He represented the entire murderous origin sect. It was impossible for him to easily hand over such a large sect to someone who suddenly appeared. Moreover, after these few days of open and secret investigations, he discovered that the people Murong Hanlai brought with him had ill intentions. In less than half a month, many bad rumors had already spread. For example, they had used their spiritual power and seniority to oppress the disciples of the murderous origin sect, and even molested female disciples. If they were to gain power, the murderous origin sect would probably be ruined beyond recognition. However, Murong Hanlai had used his seniority and so-called orthodoxy to force him to express his stance as soon as possible. It had practically caused his hair to turn white from worry. Master Xiahou now felt that even when Yun Chujio, that bad news bag, was still around, he had never been so worried. Now that he thought about it at that time, he was still a little blissful. Unfortunately, that little girl had been captured by the Yen clan and there was still no news of her. She was most likely dead. It was really a pity. When Master Xiahou heard Murong Hanlai's aggressive question, he could only say with a smile, "Martial uncle, the change of master is not a small matter. We need to take a long time to think about it. Please wait a few more days." Senior martial brother Xiahou, it's not that my words are harsh, but what's the big deal? Isn't it just that you don't want to give up the position of sect master? My master said that as long as you give up the position of sect master, he will let you be the deputy sect master. What's there to be dissatisfied about? The one who spoke was Murong Hanlai's disciple, Wen Qianchuan. Master Xiahou and the others were unhappy when they heard Wen Qianchuan's words. Mountain Master Zhao had a fiery temper. They immediately said, "Junior martial brother Wen, this is such a big matter. There's nothing wrong with us discussing it for a few more days, right? Are we going to give up the position of sect master now?" When Qianchuan snorted, "So what if you give it up now? You've already occupied it for so many years. Shouldn't you return it to its original owner earlier?" Mountain Master Zhao wanted to argue, but Murong Hanlai released his pressure on him. Mountain Master Zhao's forehead immediately began to sweat. He was so angry that he gritted his teeth, but he could only keep his mouth shut. While the atmosphere in the meeting hall was still tense, Mountain Master Zhao's jade tokens started to shake. After sending his divine sense in, Mountain Master Zhao said with a wide grin, "Sect Master, little Jiao is back. She's not dead. Ha! I knew this bad news bag wouldn't die so easily. She really came back alive." Sect Master Xiahou immediately stood up. "What? Yun Chujio is back? That's great. This little girl is really lucky." Peak Master Mo of Water Mountain also echoed, "I told you that this little girl would be fine. Congratulations." Murong Hanlai's eyes flashed with a trace of viciousness as he asked coldly, "Martial nephew Xiahou, who is Yun Chujio? Why are you so happy that she has returned safely?" Sect Master Xiahou paused for a moment, then said, "Although Yun Chujio is only a servant of our murderous Yuan sect, she has made great contributions during the battle between the human race and the nightmare race. Previously, she was captured by the Yen clan during the battle. We thought she was already dead, but we didn't expect her to come back safe and sound." When Qianchuan pursed his lips, "A small fire-burning handyman? made great contributions? Senior brother Xiaoho, are you joking? Even if you want to change the topic, say something reliable. A fire-burning handyman made great contributions. Could it be that the cultivators of the Central Plains are already weak to this extent? TSK, I advise you to return the position of sect master to my master. Otherwise, I think that sooner or later, the Killing Origin sect will become an unrated small sect. Master Xiaoho could not stand it anymore. Junior brother, when the human race and the Yen race have suffered countless casualties in the battle, how can we treat it as a joke? For the battle for the sect master, I will give my senior uncle an explanation. Please watch your words. Master Xiaoho also had a bad temper. However, he now felt that he was in the wrong. Moreover, due to Murong Hanli's seniority, otherwise, he would have been enraged long ago. When Chen Chuan wanted to say more, but Murong Hanli snorted coldly and did not speak. Since this Yun Chujio of yours has worked so hard and achieved so much, why don't you let her come over? I want to see the rising star of our Shiyuan sect. Murong Hanli said in a deep voice. Master Xiaoho used to think that He Xinjiu was a bad person and wished that he could never see her again. But now, he felt a sense of pride and honor. He immediately sent a message to Leng Kuei and asked him to bring He Xinjiu to the meeting hall. Leng Kuei heard that Yun Chujio had returned and arrived at the front gate of the Killing Yuan sect at the fastest speed in his life. He Xinjiu had thought that there would be a grand welcoming ceremony, but when Leng Kuei arrived, he could not help but curl his lips. Senior brother Leng Kuei, you are not the only one who came to welcome me, are you? Leng Kuei saw that Yun Chujio was safe and sound, and his nose felt a little sour. He had been living like a year these days, even though he still did not like He Xinjia's personality. However, he had to admit that this junior sister was a special little girl. Although she was lazy and crafty, and she caused trouble, it was this little girl who had turned the tide of the battle between the human race and the nightmare race. She had almost single-handedly allowed the human race to obtain victory. Leng Kuei and Lin Chuan and Shangguan Hao had also tried to sneak into the Yen clan camp to save Yun Chujio, but they were discovered by Mountain Master Zhua and the others. In the end, they were escorted back to the sect. Therefore, these days, Leng Kuei had been living in self-blame and guilt. Vice Alliance Master Leng Dadu, are you stupid? Why aren't you saying anything? He Xinjiu tilted her head and said with a smile. Leng Dadu instantly fed Leng Kuei's excitement to the dogs. Leng Kuei glared at her. Humph. You are just a busboy. It's already good enough that I came to pick you up. The sect leader asked me to bring you to the meeting hall. He Xinjiu curled her lips. Although I am just a little busboy, I have made great contributions. If it weren't for me, the Nightmare clan might have already conquered the vast Gobi Desert. Although Leng Kuei knew that what He Xinjiu said was true, he also knew that this fellow was giving him a hard time, so he didn't say anything and just let He Xinjiu grumble about her great achievements along the way. When they were about to reach the meeting hall, Leng Kuei instructed, Murong Hanli's people are vicious and merciless. You should restrain yourself later. Otherwise, my master might not be able to protect you. After all, Murong Hanli's seniority is 1 generation higher than my master's. He Xinjiu blinked her eyes and said in a low voice, Senior brother Leng Kuei, do you hate those people very much? Leng Kuei snorted coldly, which was a tacit agreement. Senior brother Leng Kuei, this is your fault. Murong Hanli is a legitimate direct descendant. Isn't it reasonable for him to come back for the position of the sect leader? He Xinjiu said with a smile. You ingrate. My master has protected you so many times, and you are actually helping others. Leng Kuei glared at He Xinjiu angrily. He Xinjiu bared her little white teeth. Senior brother Leng Kuei, what are you so anxious for? I'm joking with you. I don't care whether he is a direct descendant or not. Even if Patriarch Hong Yuan is resurrected from the dead, the sect master of the murderous origin sect is not his place. Leng Kuei was so scared that he almost sat on the ground when he saw Yun Chujio saying such outrageous words. He was both angry and scared. Shut up. Don't spout nonsense. I'm warning you. Behave yourself when you enter the meeting hall later. The corner of He Xingjia's mouth curled up slightly. Don't worry, I will behave myself. After all, I have always been obedient and won't cause any trouble. Leng Kuei was even more anxious when he heard what she said. The more pretentious this fellow was, the more ill-intentioned he was. If she really made a fuss, the more chaotic the murderous origin sect would be. Leng Kuei wanted to persuade her again, but he didn't expect He Xinjiu to have already rushed into the meeting hall, so he could only run after her. Sect Master. Peak Masters, little Jiu, I'm back. I heard a rumor on the way that you're going to give up the position of Sect Master to me because of me saving the human race. Is that true? He Xinjiu asked crisply. The meeting hall was dead silent. Everyone was dumbfounded. Leng Kuei, who had just stepped into the meeting hall with one foot, almost sat on the ground. No wonder this troublemaker said that even if Patriarch Hongyuan came back from the dead, he would not be the sect master of the murderous origin sect. So she wanted to be the sect master of the murderous origin sect? Master Xiahou felt that it was not bad to give up the position of the sect master. Even if he gave up the position of the sect master to this troublemaker, it would be better than giving it to Murong Hanlai. Therefore, he coughed and said, I did plan to do so, but something unexpected has happened. We will talk about this later. That is Senior Murong, my martial uncle. Why don't you go and pay your respects? Yun Chujio turned to look at Murong Hanlai and said with a smile, Hello, Senior Murong. Since you are the senior uncle of the sect master, your spiritual power must be very powerful, right? Murong Hanlai had not said anything yet, when Qianchuan snorted coldly, What an ignorant junior! My master's spiritual power is naturally the number one in the immortal Yuan continent. You, a handyman who burns a fire, actually want to become the sect master. You really overestimate yourself. The smile on Yun Chujia's face became even brighter. From what you said, you are Senior Murong's disciple. Then your spiritual power isn't bad either? Of course. When Qianchuan said arrogantly, TSK, then this junior doesn't understand. Since you and Senior Murong's spiritual power are both so high, why didn't I see you helping out when the human race and the nightmare race fought previously? On the contrary, now that the battle has calmed down, you guys have come to snatch my position as sect master? You guys really know how to take advantage. He Xinjiu said with a disdainful expression. The meeting hall fell into a strange silence once more. Her position as sect master? Pooey. Shameless. She really dared to say it. However, Mountain Master Zhao and the others felt that this little girl was right. She was too fucking right. They dared to be angry but didn't dare to say anything. Little Nine, shut up. How can you talk to Martial Uncle and Junior Martial Brother when? Although you're young, you can't just say whatever you want. Why don't you step aside and wait for us to finish our business before we ask you what happened? Master Xiahou reprimanded. Although he said that, Master Xiahou gave He Xinjiu countless thumbs up in his heart. He had been feeling extremely aggrieved these past few days, and finally he had a sharp tongue. He Xinjiu immediately said, Master, I was wrong. I haven't seen much of the world, and I was almost killed by the Yen clansmen, so I can only speak the truth now. I'm really sorry to Senior Murong and Senior Wen. When Qianchuan was so angry that he almost vomited blood. What did he mean by only speaking the truth? It was as if he hadn't apologized at all. This brat was really hateful. Murong Hanley's cold eyes looked at Yun Chujio and released a huge pressure on Hei Xinjiu. Mountain Master Zhao and company were about to make a move, but they found that He Xinjiu acted as if nothing had happened. She ran to Master Xiaohu's side, took out a small stool, sat down, and started to eat the pastries on the table. Everyone, the shadow in Master Xiaohu's and company's hearts was somehow lightened by this scene. It was as if with the return of this bad news bag, there was light shining out from the darkness, and it was filled with hope. When Qianchuan slammed the table, Brother Xiahou, she's a handyman, how can she sit with you? Where do you place my master in US? Where? Aren't you sitting there? Where do you think you're going? Besides, the current sect master is still Master Xiahou, and the Master Xiahou is still in charge of the murderous element sect. Why are you calling me a guest? You keep calling the sect master senior brother. Do you even look like a junior brother? If I didn't know better, I would have thought you were a senior brother. Even if you want to take over the magpie's nest, your eating style is too ugly. Furthermore, your dove might be roasted before it can take over the magpie's nest. Mountain Master Zhao couldn't help but laugh out loud. This little 9 girl's words were too interesting. When Chen Chuan was so angry that he almost spat out a mouthful of blood. You, senior martial brother Xiahou, is the dove taking over the magpie's nest. My master is the orthodox choice for the sect master. Yun Chujio took out her small teacup and poured a cup of tea. She sipped a few sips and said, Pandy N0 Vel. Calm, the sect master has taken over the magpie's nest? This sect master position was not snatched by our sect master. It was passed down from generation to generation. If you have the ability, go and ask Grandmaster Zhuang for it. We live young and don't know anything about what happened back then. Even if you say something flowery, we won't admit it. We are just so shameless. How about it? The meeting hall was so quiet that one could hear the sound of a needle falling to the ground. Everyone was stunned by He Xinjia's shameless words. Oh my God! She could actually say such shameless words as if it was a matter of course. How thick-skinned was she? However, the people from the murderous origin sect felt that although this fellow said it shamelessly, his words were simply too fucking good. If they could also be so shameless, how could there be so many things? Although they were not Murong Hanley's match, it was difficult for 2 fists to fight against 4 hands. They might not necessarily lose. When Chen Chuan had obviously never seen such a shameless person like He Xinjio. For a moment, he could not even say a word. Murong Hanlai glanced at He Xinjio sinisterly. He said coldly, Martial nephew Xiahou, this old man will not stoop to the level of a junior like her. If you feel that you don't have a clear conscience if you don't give up the position of sect master, then just treat it as if I didn't come this time. Although our group has never made a name for themselves in the Central Plains, the Sea of 10,000 Ruins has always been under our control. Our strength may not be comparable to the murderous origin sect, but it may not necessarily be much weaker. If Master Xiahou has never expressed his stance, then I can only use force to take back my things. Moreover, I do not believe that the fellow Taoists of the immortal origin continent cannot distinguish right from wrong. I must seek justice. Just as He Xinjio was about to speak, Master Xiahou gave her a look and said to Murong Hanlai, Martial uncle, please calm down. Little Jio is not sensible. I will punish her later. As for the position of sect master, please allow us to discuss further. I will give you an answer as soon as possible. Murong Hanlai heard Master Xiahou say this. He softened his tone. Martial nephew Xiahou, what I said just now was a bit harsh. However, this was the last instruction left behind by the ancestral master. He told us that if we have the chance, we must take back control of the murderous origin sect. This is also to comply with the last order of ancestral master Hong Yuan. I am also not willing to really use force. After all, we share the same root. If we fight against each other, we would really be letting down the ancestors of the murderous origin sect. Yun Chujio secretly curled her lips. Even after becoming a watch, she still had to set up a memorial tablet. This was the kind of person she was talking about. If it wasn't for the fact that the time wasn't ripe, she would have shown the sect leader ring to blind his dog eyes. Why is he still pretending to be a big shot here? Little ninth ancestor will torture you to death. Although He Xinjio was cursing in her heart, she knew that she had been showing off enough today. She would stop when the time was right. After all, this matter involved a lot of things. It wasn't something that could be solved with just a few words from her. She still had to think long-term. Hence, this fellow only sipped on his tea and did not interrupt. Master Xiahou saw that Murong Hanlai had changed the topic, so he said a few more polite words. At this moment, when Chen Chuan said with a fake smile, Yun Chujio, you were captured by the Yen clan previously. Why did you come back safely? Could it be that you did something shameful? Such as becoming a spy for the Yen clan? As soon as Wen Qianchuan's words left his mouth, the meeting hall fell into silence once again. Although Master Xiahou and the others didn't think that Yun Chujio would be a spy of the Yen clan, but how did a little girl like her escape from the Yen clan? Leng Kuei's face was cold as he said indignantly, Senior Wen, if it wasn't for junior sister Jiao, the 10,000 miles Gobi Desert would have been conquered by the Yen clan long ago. She wouldn't have joined the Yen clan at all. You are slandering her. When Chen Chuan slammed the table. How dare you? I'm just asking. Can I even ask? Besides, anything is possible. She has indeed made contributions in the past, but that doesn't mean that she isn't a spy of the Yen clan now. As when Chen Chuan spoke, he released his coercion towards Leng Kuei. Leng Kuei wasn't good with words to begin with. After being pressured by Wen Qianchuan's coercion, he was even more speechless. His face flushed red, obviously extremely angry. Hei Xinjiu was the most protective. She picked up Master Xiaohu's teacup and smashed it onto the ground. Clang. Everyone was shocked by this guy's valiant behavior. Master Xiahou was dumbfounded. You want to smash your own teacup? Why did you want to smash his? I'm sorry, I heard a joke, so my hand slipped. Hei Xinjiu looked innocent. The corners of everyone's eyes twitched. How could a slip of the hand send the teacup flying so far? Moreover, that was clearly Master Xiaohu's teacup, all right? Just as when Chen Chuan was about to question her. He heard Hei Xinjiu say with a cold little face, Why did I hear what you said before? I deserve to die in the nightmare race? You and I don't have the hatred of killing my father and stealing my husband. Do you have to curse me like that? Besides, do you know why the Nightmare Clan is fighting among themselves? Do you know why the Nightmare Clans suddenly withdrew their troops? You, a coward who doesn't even dare to go on the battlefield, actually suspect that I'm a spy? Your skin is really thick. Why are you glaring at me? Do you want to bite me? Let me tell you, although I'm a small handyman of the Murder Origin sect, you're not a member of the Murder Origin sect yet. If you dare to touch me, I'll break your legs. Do you think that my scolding is very unpleasant? What you said just now was 10,000 times worse than that. I risked my life for the human race and risked my life for the human race. In the end, I was called a spy of the Yen race. I don't want to live anymore. Master, don't pull me. I will kill myself in this meeting hall today. Let the people of the immortal Essence continent see how when Chen Chuan killed the hero of the human race. Hei Xinjiu was about to stand up and crash into the wall. Master Xiahou grasped her arm and said, Little Jiao, calm down. If you really crash into death here, our murderous Yuan sect will be drowned by everyone's saliva. Forcing the hero of the human race to death is going against everyone in the immortal Yuan continent. Murong Hanlai and the others were dumbfounded. How could there be such a bad thing in the murderous Yuan sect? Throwing teacups and knocking into walls at every turn, this was too shameless. However, it had to be said that such shameless actions were very effective. Murong Hanlai glared at Wen Qianchuan. He comforted her. Little girl, Qianchuan made a slip of the tongue just now. Don't take it to heart. For my sake, let's put this matter behind us. Hei Xinjiu wiped away her non-existent tears. All right. Since Senior Murong said so, I'll bear with it even if I have to suffer thousands of grievances. I just hope that Senior Wen would think twice before speaking next time. Otherwise, not everyone is as easy to talk to as me. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.